Do you think relationships will last longer because there are two women in the playing field versus one?
I believe so. I believe so, just because you have to work that much harder, and you have to put in a lot of time to do that. So if you put in,
if you put in a lot of time, more difficult?
No, I mean, it comes more difficult, but it also comes more relief, because now you have three brains to come together, three brains to solve solutions. So, just as much it can be difficult, that's just as much pleasure you can have with the pain. So, it's three heads. So, we can solve problems. So we have somebody to mediate out. We don't have to go outside of our relationship to have a mediator.
Right.
So it can help the relationship, because now it's like, me and you have issues. You don't have to go talk to your mother. You don't have to go talk to somebody outside these walls. Your sister wife is right there.
The problem is we don't live in a selfless society. Our society teaches my man and my woman.
Yeah, that's what westernized civilization teaches us. Okay. But I'm not into westernized civilization. I'm into the culture. So if you say polygamy from a United States of America standpoint, then absolutely they look down upon it because they don't understand. If you look at polygamy from Africa or Al-Kibulan, the motherland, polygamy is 85% of the continent. So it's like, of course, if you look at, polygamy was taken away from us during the slave trade. Okay. Because they didn't want us to produce babies. They wanted to control that. So that was the first form of birth control. A lot of people know that. That was the first form of birth control. So our whole culture, everything was taken from us. So people who want to practice polygamy now, that's in the United States, are people that's trying to get in tune back with their culture. Okay. Because this is when we were thriving. This is when we were on top. We're at the bottom of the barrel right now, as far as my people. We're trying to get back to the top. So people are taking, they're taking hold more of the culture, and and it's not just polygamy things; it's eating habits.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Being woke,
exercise,
more
being
aware,
woke. Period. Yeah,
more knowledgeable of culture, things like that.
Right.
How do you get women comfortable with the idea of having two women and one man?
Well, it just depends. I mean, it's more of an educating thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I might have to show her things in history, how it can work, why it worked. I have an uncle that's been in a polygamous relationship for 30 years, successful. So it's I've seen it, and I've been there. I've actually seen it done. Okay. A lot of people who have negative opinions about polygamy have never seen it done. So it's just a thought. They think about it. They just think sex. You know what I mean? They just, the mind just goes somewhere else. But people who actually experience and witness polygamy have a different mindset on what it's about. Communication, big time. He's like, that's the major thing, and he has to listen to both. And he learned a lot. He always told me he learned a lot about himself with dealing with the two women. And you just don't get two women that are alike. They're two different. They're two totally different women. One was always on the road. She was just gone. You know what I mean? And one was domesticated, and she was in a house more. She was taking care of the children. So you wouldn't get two women that's gonna step on each other's toes.
If the black males was allowed to have multiple women without the woman freaking out and understand the true nature of her king, there would be no single mothers. For one, no black child would go hungry. There would be no poverty in the black community, and the black community would rise up economically. This is all intelligently designed to keep us from waking up to our true potentials as true living gods and goddesses of the plane, aka planet.
He hit some valid points. I mean, you have to think the sisters outnumber the brothers. It's like, I think it's a 1 to 10, and that's not even to add on this epidemic of homosexual males.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
The men that are incarcerated. So you leaving a lot of sisters out here with no man. So I asked the people who strongly disagree, what do these sisters do? What do these sisters do? So you tell me that
side chicks?
You tell me you don't have to necessarily be a side chick. It's not a side chick if it's polygamy, because you're adding to the relationship. Okay. You'll be treated equally. And then he's absolutely right. These religions are really at fault because they shame it. But in these same religions that shame it, in these books, for people that believe in the Bible, it's Bible quotes that okays polygamy. You can look up Exodus chapter 21 verse 10, and it tells you that about two wives. You can look at I believe it's Isaiah 4:1, and it talks about in the last days the man will have several. So people who follow Islam, we know that polygamy is highly practiced in the Islamic faith, or people that people that are Muslims. in ancient Kemet culture, Nefertiti was a polygamous wife. You see a lot of people with Nefertiti chains on and stuff like that say I don't like polygamy. Nefertiti was a wife. Her king was Pharaoh Akhenaten. They had multiple wives. So this is something that's always been practiced in our culture. Not to say that everyone has to practice polygamy, but I think we should do a better job of accepting people that do and stop judging people that do.
Stop judging them.
Right.
And you just using this as a way to have your cake and eat it too.
Well, first and foremost, if polygamy means marriage, it means to be married. It's like you take a spiritual oath. So if I want to just have sex with multiple women, why would I get married? Why am I going to get married or commit myself to women when I can be single and have sex with whoever I want to? So that eliminates that. So whoever's saying polygamy for sex, it eliminates that. You know what I mean? I can be a single man and just go to knock down whoever I want to knock down. You're being responsible for children. You're being responsible for these women. You're being responsible for a household. Polygamy forces a brother to get on his game. Because you thought you had to be responsible for one woman, you got to take care of two women. This creates a different kind of brother. Okay. My mentality is like, I got to go get it. I'm not being lazy for nothing. I'm not sitting around. I witnessed my uncle do this. Okay. He was not sitting around. He was not being lazy. He had to work because he had to provide for a huge family. So this forces men to be responsible. I'm not saying go be in a polygamous relationship with some dude just because you think he cute or just because, you know what I'm saying? It has to be a man who you feel confident in that he's going to handle business.
Like that's kind of what it sounds like. Like it's a big orgy happening, you know?
You know what? If y'all taking care of business and y'all handling y'all day to day and there's children involved, I don't really see how you just having big orgies, man. We got things to do. You know what I mean? My mind just doesn't really think like that. Not to say that I don't think about sex, because, I love sisters. Sisters is beautiful. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But my mind is not really thinking like that. Like, my mind is really thinking, let's build more. Let's get property. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we do to bring more resources? So I don't really think that way, but I'm pretty sure there's brothers that probably think that way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to judge anybody.
Do you commit to one and then later commit to the other? Is it like you're with one woman first and then you add another one second, or do you do it all at the same time? How does that work?
Well, I would suggest that you be with one woman first. I mean, if you can make it happen where you're like, I got you, you can make it happen, hey, all power to you. But I would suggest a brother go with one woman, learn that woman, let her learn him, understand each other, understand the polygamy concepts, so she could study, have an understanding of it, to when they do welcome another woman, she's already mentally prepared, spiritually prepared to teach, and to be able to show how to survive in these in a polygamous relationship. So I think that it'd be better for you to be with the one woman first.
Okay.
I'm going to say you should involve your number one queen first, or your first queen, not your number one, but your first queen first, and involve her, so y'all can get somebody that can work for the both of y'all. I mean, I'm pretty sure all three of you are not working an 8 to 5 job. So, if me and you are off early, we might do something, and she off later, I might do something after I get off. I mean, it's just, you just divide the time based off you work on the schedules with
It's
each
just
other.
Based off your work ethic.
Yeah, So it's like,
how does date night work? How does,
we together. These are my queens. I got my queen. We out, we're good. I deal with women who do not care what other people think. Because it's a lot of women out there who are like, dang, that do sound kind of cool, but I don't know what such and such a think about me. I don't know what such. I deal with women who don't care. I deal with women who's into the culture. I am not tripping. I see what you're talking about. I believe in you, King. I believe in you're leading us in the right direction. Forget everybody. Because we can't be in a relationship if outsiders can control what we do in our home. An outsider cannot dictate what I do in my home. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I do polygamy because I don't care what other people think. I do polygamy because I see the benefits of it. Right. So I'm going to go for it. We only live once, and I'm going to take full advantage of my life. And this is something that I've studied and something that I've researched, and it's something that I'm going to practice. And brothers, I'm telling y'all, if you want to do polygamy, just be honest about it. Honesty is the key. Because any woman I meet, I'll tell them off top, I'm not playing no games. We have to man up and be real about it instead of lying, because a lot of you dudes is secret polygamists, and you oh man, I would never do that, but you got your little something on the side. Man, forget all that. Let's be honest with these women so they can start trusting us, so we can be leaders and we get back to the top.
you.